Ever wonder when strategy meets creativity and a roll of dice can change your fate? On today's episode of BungaPod Podcast, we are going to explore the vibrant universe of board games, where every role, card, and strategy has a story. Today, I invited Syed, who is a seasoned player, to help us unpack the mystery and the artistry of board games. Whether you are a hardcore player, fan, or just a passerby, this is your front row seat to fly into the world of board games. Nama saya Bunga, and welcome to BungaPod. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum. Hi, nama saya Bunga. So before we start, Syed, I'm so excited to have you here right now.
Thank you for having me.
Because actually, this episode is going to be the first official episode of BungaPod.
Nice.
What I mean about that is about for after 2 or 3 months, I tried, testing the podcast waters. I now know where I want BungaPod to be, the vision, the mission, the structure. At least sekarang I dah tahu dah ada outline there.
Nice. Glad to be in the first official one.
Yes, thank you so much. So with that being said, welcome to BungaPod Podcast, where we explore hobbies and topics that help us to connect with our creative and imaginative side.
Nice. Glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
Okay, Syed. Now that we're done with the introduction, how are you?
I'm fine. Thank you. It's been great.
Long time no see, kan? I'd like to ask you to briefly introduce yourself.
Right. So my name is Syed Khairusman. You can just call me Syed. I teach at Tunku Abdul Rahman University of Management and Technology, which is located in Wang Semaju area. And I do that full time. And as a pastime hobby, I love playing board games.
Yes, that's what we're gonna talk about, board games. So, baik sebelum itu, kita akan borak in Manglish. Most probably more in English lah.
Boleh.
Bahasa yang sedap dan selesa, itulah yang akan keluar.
Boleh.
Berebo. So, untuk episod ni, kita ada 4 segmen.
Right.
So, we're gonna talk about board games. We're gonna talk about you as a gamer. We're gonna talk about board games in the social community.
Nice.
And we have a speed round.
Nice.
So, are you ready?
Yes, I am. Let's go. Let's do
Okay.
this.
So, we'll start simple. What is board games ataupun permainan papan?
So board games, permainan papan. The name is in itself. It's a tabletop game where you have a board in the center of the table, and then you have players playing together, interacting with that board game.
Okay.
For different reasons. Some games are purely for fun, purely for interaction, but some other games are like for, trying to win the game through gaining some points, stuff like that. Yeah, so it's mainly played, usually played on a big table or a flat surface. You can play it on the floor. You can take board games to go camping and just play it on the floor. Yeah.
Cerita dia, sometime last year, I joined one of your game night. And since then, I rasa macam berminat nak tahu lebih tentang board games.
Right.
Because I felt so mentally drained after the session. But dia macam workout, macam brain workout.
Yep,
It
is.
feels so good. I tak tahulah ada dopamine ke, serotonin. I don't know what brain juice that is in my brain masa tu. Tapi rasa drain sangat. Tapi rasa best sangat.
Yep, it is.
So, as far as I know, there are different types of board games. Macam party games, strategy games,
Yep.
cooperative game, many more.
Yep.
So can you expand on that by introducing to us the different types and what does it mean? How do they work? Yeah.
Right, yeah. As you said, there are a lot of different types of board games, like party games, card games. Some card games involve a board in the middle. Family games, like Monopoly, for example, is a family board game. Strategy games, cooperative games, stuff like that. Within the spectrum of just strategy games alone, there are a lot of different subcategories.
Okay.
So, for example, like you mentioned, there are cooperative strategy games,
Oh.
cooperative, where you work together as a team to accomplish a certain mission or goal. There are a lot of different types of strategy board games. For example, there are worker placement games, there are deck building games, there are engine building games, there are back building games.
Okay, wow.
Among the strategy genre itself, there are a lot of different subcaptions or
Mm.
subcategories.
Okay.
So these different types of board games, strategy board games, usually involves the main goal of gaining the most points to win the game. Right?
Alright.
Unlike the cooperative games where you're trying to work together to beat the game and whatever the mission is for the game is.
Okay. Yeah, I played that. Apa the space stuff?
Nemesis.
Nemesis.
So we play Nemesis, right? So that was a cooperative game where we need to survive in an alien spaceship, something like that.
Okay. So you prefer strategy ke cooperative ke?
I prefer strategy games because I like the competitiveness.
Ah.
While we're having fun, we're also trying to compete to see who can crack the puzzle, who can solve the puzzle of the strategy game, whatever strategy game you're playing,
Okay.
to gain the most victory points and win. But at the end of the day, it's just all about having fun,
Yeah. Betul.
gathering together with your friends.
Yeah. It's a nice way to be ganas in
Yes.
a way, but still in a
It's a
controlled manner.
friendly competitiveness.
Yeah, betul. Alright. So I know that you mestilah pro game kan. But like all things in life, semua ada baik buruknya. So can you share with us what is the pros and cons of board games?
There are a lot of pros. Like what you said, it's a mental workout,
Yeah.
right? So nothing physical involved. So basically, you're trying to solve a puzzle. Any game you play, there's always a mini puzzle for you to solve. So you're trying to crack the code in your head. So it's a very good mental workout for you to
Yeah.
try to piece the pieces together and try to solve the puzzle. Especially if you're playing competitive strategy games. So you're trying to piece and solve the puzzle to win the game.
Yeah.
So it's a good mental workout. It's a nice get together with friends. Everyone sitting on the table having a good time. A lot of the board games are created by designers purely to have fun. That's the most important thing. So
So number one dia fun lah.
Fun. So you want to have fun with your friends, sit down on game nights, come gather around together, have a good time, play different types of board games. So you can make new friends. You can join game sessions. You can go to any like board game cafes. Just randomly meet new friends, make new friends. Have a good mental workout. Have fun together with your friends. So there are a lot of pros over there. I wouldn't say cons, but there are times where it can get too competitive. Maybe yes, it can get too competitive. And if let's say there's a how do you put this? If there is like a sore loser in the group who cannot take defeat, so you want to try to read the room and manage everyone, right? So like say for example, if there are people who cannot accept defeat, like how could you win? You weren't doing this or you weren't doing that. So we have the cons are, if you do not manage your emotions well, especially when you're playing a competitive board game, it could end up, you could end up in a mini argument. But usually, most of the time, 98% of the time when I play or when I host games or when I go to play over with my friends, everything works out fine. The arguments take place during the session alone, there and then, and right after the session is over, everything, we are makan. Let's go makan.
Makan minum mama. Okay. How do you say macam nak cakap how about the time? Because it can be time consuming.
Yes, it can be time consuming depending on the game that you're playing. Some heavy strategy games takes up a lot of time. One game session, playing just one game,
1 round
could probably take about 2 to 4 hours, depending on the level of the difficulty of the game. So it can be a bit time consuming. As for me, I work in the day, so and I always play with my friends weekday nights after 7. So after 7, we'll hang out at a open space area like McDonald's ke mana-mana, and then we'll just open up a table and then just play a game, maybe one game on weekday nights. On weekends, we have more time, so we'll start probably early in the afternoon, and then we'll play all the way until night with a dinner break in between.
Sambil-sambil.
So dapatlah cover around 2 or 3 games on a weekend lah. But on a weekday nights, we also do on a weekday nights. It can be a bit time consuming, but when you love the
Yeah.
activity so much, you don't really mind. Badan tengah letih macam mana pun, but like I said, it's not a physical thing.
Yeah.
So you're just sitting down and you're it's a mental workout. So
Yeah.
it's not a big deal lah for me.
Not really
And I believe for other people who love board games as well.
Yeah, betul-betul sebab I played like once. And
Once, I think twice lah, a few times.
twice, tapi the second time is like macam biasa je, macam it's like chill, more to like just to fill in the time kan.
Party games.
Yeah. Tapi masa the first time I main the board games, a few games
Yeah,
kan
you played
masa
a few games, yeah.
macam like, I feel smarter.
It does make you feel a lot smarter when you're playing the games because you manage to crack the
I guess so.
the
Even
code,
though I
solve the
tak
puzzle.
main, like I tak fully understand the game,
Mhm.
but as you know, you're such a good game master, so you manage
try.
us as
Yeah.
newbies
Mhm.
and noobs
Yeah.
very well. So I feel like macam kalau nak di physical kan, I feel like my gears are like okay, start to panaskan gear.
It's
But then sadly I tak continue.
you should. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
a very good
no.
mental workout. I mean, I love solving puzzles. So for people who love solving puzzles, it's definitely a good mental workout. And at the same time, you get to have fun.
Speaking of puzzles, do you do jigsaw puzzle?
I don't, but my mom loves jigsaw puzzles. So it kind of runs in the family. We love to solve puzzles.
Is jigsaw also a board
No,
game?
it's not a board game. Jigsaw puzzle is more like I don't consider it a board game. It's just a puzzle game. Yeah, where you just need to fix the puzzles.
Okay. Alright. Okay, moving on. So let's be a bit controversial. Kalau lah you are a controversial person kan.
Thanks a lot.
This would be a good debate topic actually. So we'll try lah kan. Board games versus video games. Discuss.
Board games versus video games.
Yeah.
I don't mind doing both. I do both.
Yeah.
Personally, I prefer board games because of the interaction you have with friends.
Yeah.
Video games,
Yes.
I do not mind video games if it's like a game night session where everyone is gathered around and you have like a game console, and then everyone's taking turns having a good time. That's fine. But if you're just playing like online games, video games on your computer, and that's what you do all day, it's a bit unhealthy for you because you're staring at the screen for like a few hours in a day. And the interaction is less. You're just interacting with the screen, and at best you're interacting with like a mouthpiece. You're talking to someone somewhere across the globe. So personally, I would definitely prefer board games because you're in the moment. You're there physically, and you're interacting with your friends. You're teaching. You're learning. You're braining. You're solving. Right? Yeah. So
it's like dia nak cakap healing, a bit of healing for me.
Yes, it can be healing, especially when you manage to solve it, and especially if you win the game. I was like, oh yes, I beat you. Yeah.
So many kalau I lah rasa macam many pros lah to it.
Yeah, there's a lot of pros.
Yeah, especially the brain work.
Speaking of healing, there's a topic recently I read it online about how board games is helping autistic people.
Really?
In the autism side of things, they are trying to use board games now to stimulate all of these interactions, to stimulate to build self-confidence, to build your capabilities.
So cool.
It's helping autistic people as well, which is really cool.
Yeah.
I read an article about a few weeks ago. I'm not sure. It just came across my feed, my news feed, board games. Because I search about board games a lot online. So the news feeds pop up once in a while. Oh, board games are being used to help the autistic community, which is fantastic.
Dekat mana ni?
In America.
Okay, that's right. That's so cool.
It's cool.
I love that. His side. I am curious. Oh, curious you. From your experience, what games yang worth the hype and what are not worth the hype?
board games that are worth the hype. That's a very niche question. I mean, if I'm answering to a board game community, they would probably
Argue.
no be able to relate to my answer. But if I'm speaking to a general audience who probably doesn't know much about board games, they probably have no idea what I'm talking about. Like what's the hype games, what are the non-hype games. But any good board game that deserves hype are the ones that uh, has a good mechanic behind it, good artwork. The playing time is not too long. Definitely from a good designer and a good publisher who has some reputation within the field. Yeah, so those are the games that probably deserves hype. I've seen some cases where some good publishers or designers that publish games that are not that hyped as well. Yeah, so probably games that do not get that much hype are the games like sometimes can be a bit too difficult. Yeah, and it sucks out the fun out of the game. So those probably are the games that don't get as much hype. Monopoly, for example, is super hype for just being a game, a family, a very common family game. For example, Monopoly.
Yeah, the drama, the
Drama,
the
there's like that
yeah, the
interaction,
fun.
the gaduh,
Yeah, itulah. Uno pun kan boleh gaduh.
pun boleh gaduh.
Sebab tu lah dia very hyped. Okay, we are going to back up a little bit. Syed, when did you start playing board games? Like, seriously?
Oh, started seriously playing board games since the pandemic time lah. Baru-baru ni lah 2020. I've been playing games like Risk all my life daripada kecil lagi. Like I said, the solving the puzzles runs in the family. Me and my family, we love to solve puzzles. I've been playing all of this Battleship, Risk, all of that strategy, puzzling, solving games. Tapi when I started getting into it real seriously during the pandemic time, because nothing else to do at home, so I went online, shopped for some board games, and started playing. I started inviting friends to come over and play, and then I started collecting games seriously during the pandemic, not 2020. So that was like 4 years ago lah.
Alright, nice. So let's dive a little deeper. Why do you like board games? Like, what are the aspects of it that hook you in?
Oh, the mental workout. Yeah, I love the mental workout because I teach dance and music for a living. So I get a physical workout 5 days a week in classes when I teach dance, when I do any choreographies for my students or anything. So to balance it up, I love board games really just because of the mental workout lah, to solve the puzzle, to solve the whatever that needs to be solved. So it balances. I feel everything is perfectly balanced as all things should be. As all things should be. Yes.
Sempat lagi kot.
Sempat lagi.
Okay. Kalau you cakap macam tu, so you cakap tadi minimum a month 10 game nights.
Yep.
So is every game night macam a different mental workout, even though you're playing with like seasoned players and
yeah, because every night we are playing different games. So sometimes we play the same game like few nights in a row, but most of the time we change it up. So and sometimes it's not me who's bringing the games. Sometimes I myself am trying out a new game that my friend is bringing. So he just bought it. Oh, let's try it. Yeah. So yeah. We cycle through our board game collection because there are a lot of collectors among my circle of group of friends.
Never gonna be the same.
It's never gonna be the same.
Walaupun game tu sama.
Walaupun the category of the game is sama strategy, but it's always different games.
Okay. So from my point of view, okay, cerita I lah. So my point of view, nak jadi game master ni, you need to understand the rules yang berhelai-helai. Form plat kecil-kecil. And then you need to faham the crowd, you need to manage the players, then you need to organize where things go. That's why I see you do lah. So I am amazed and impressed the other day. So my question is, how do you become a good game master yang organized and focused, put warm and chill.
Okay, game master basically means the host lah. So
Mhm.
you're hosting a game, you brought the game, you're tabling the game. You're probably gonna teach it to beginners who have never played that specific game before. So definitely the most important thing is having patience. You need to have a lot of patience teaching. And people won't get it the first time, especially if it's a difficult strategy game. People will definitely won't get it the first time, the first few rounds you're playing it. Patience, you definitely need patience. As a game master, it's very important for me to fully understand the game first. So I need to go back home, and before tabling the game, I need to fully understand, read the rule book,
You study
play.
the game.
I need to study the game. I need to do a play test first,
Wow.
so that I can prepare myself for any and all possible questions being thrown my way. Like, how do you do this? How do you do that? Why I'm unable to do this? How do I go
You
there?
know
How do I go
dalam
there?
at the same time. Semua macam
Yeah, exactly.
and then
So
you can manage that. Macam respect gila masa tu. Macam Syed.
so
Okay, you were saying?
because I love teaching. I
Yeah, that's
love
why you were
teaching.
teaching.
I teach for a living.
Yeah.
So I teach different age range from young kids. So I'm used to the pop 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 pop. Yeah. So I try my best to manage the situation, manage the room, manage the table. But as a game master, it's super important for me to really be prepared. So I come prepared.
Wow.
I understand the game fully. I've read all the rules. I have all the bits and pieces ready. I have all the trays ready to store all of the bits and pieces. Right. I have a good table, a mat for the game so that the pieces don't slide away. I prepare everything. So I've gone through all the rules. I'm ready to teach. So patience, like I said, for all the questions, and there will be silly questions. There will be tons of silly questions being thrown. Like, why can't I do this? And I'll be like, I just said it. You can't do that because of that. Like, and then there'll be the same question being asked again 10 minutes later. Oh, why can't I go there? I just said it. You can't because of this. Yeah. So patience. You definitely need a lot of patience. Yeah. And Alhamdulillah, thankfully, God gifted me with a lot of patience. So I love teaching. So I'm used to all of this shenanigans lah.
Betul. Because itu brain tu satu. And then the social skill, the people skill.
Yep, super important.
And then yang I paling macam wow, because you physically brought the game yang besar-besar, and then you 3D printed it, and then you have
I 3D printed all of the holders, the parts, trays, organizers, the board games. Yeah.
Pasal apa lagi, setiap satu card tu you put into plastic.
Yeah, the cards, all of the cards. Some games comes with their cards, so I put it into the sleeves, so to not damage the card. So if someone like eats something and then holds on to the cards, it won't spoil the cards lah. So I take good care of my games.
Yeah, okay. Ini macam tak ada dalam script, tapi I nak tanya, how much have you spent so far? Kalau roughly, are you prepared to think about that?
I don't have a concrete answer.
Okay lah,
easy 10K and above. Easy.
Dah berapa lama you mengumpul?
From the right before the pandemic.
So that's so recent.
Yeah, that's very recent. I started playing board games since I was very young. But I really got into the heavy strategy games most recently during the pandemic time. Yeah. So, and then collect.
Okay. I know that in a month, you must ada 1 or 2 game nights, kan?
In a month?
Yeah.
At least 10.
Oh, yeah. At least 10.
At least. Yeah, minimum.
Wow. Weekdays and weekends lah.
Weekdays and weekends.
Okay. So, what makes a great, fulfilling, rich, empowering game night?
Oh, when everyone enjoys the game. So, before every game night session, I'll ask the crowd loud, okay, what do you guys want to play tonight? What do you guys want to try? So, I will always follow the crowd. I'll ask them their suggestions. If they have no suggestions, then I will suggest something. So, depending on which group I'm playing with, if I'm playing with a beginner level group, I know what to suggest for the beginner level group. If I'm playing with a seasoned heavy gamer group, so I know what to suggest for that. So, when everyone enjoys the game, so for the range of that particular group, the difficulty range, and when everyone is able to enjoy it, and especially to fully grasp the strategy involved, then it's going to be a very fulfilling night for everyone. Yeah, and then we'll be buying foods and drinks, and then between games, if we're switching games between games, we just have a good chat, have fun, laugh here and there.
Nice. I love that. Okay, so sekarang kita dah masuk dalam alam mimpi dan angan-angan.
Wow.
Excuse me.
Kemana
Jangan kita masuk mimpi sekarang. What is your board game wish list? Game yang you nak add into your archive but belum dapat ke? Game tak
Oh my
wujud lagi
god,
ke?
tons. There are a lot of games that I wish
games
to
like
buy
a
but
few.
tak ada duit.
Oh ya
Tak
ke?
cukup duit.
Okay, mana yang macam
The
that?
heavy
You want that?
strategy games lah. There are a lot of heavy strategy games by designers who I love. I'm collecting all of his games,
Oh.
right? So I have a few, and there are still few left that I've yet to buy lah. It's in my wish list lah, definitely.
Can you name a few?
For example, there's a designer named Vital Lacerda. He's one of my favorite designers of all time. So a couple of games that I really wish to buy that I haven't gotten yet, like for example Lisboa, and then there are Vinyos, The Galleries. All of these games I really want to buy to add to my collection sooner or rather than later.
If you are given the chance to create or design your own game, what would it be like? Go wild.
Oh wow. I teach dance and music for a living, so I'll definitely design a game centered around that theme, performing arts, dance, music, theatre. So I'll definitely try to design a strategy game involving the three genres of performing arts, either dance, music, or theatre. I myself grew up in a marching band background during high school. So my dream is to like design a marching band board game. Like involving like, you need to send your workers to band rehearsals, go to compete, travel across the state, macam tu. That's one of my dream games lah.
But what is it? Strategy?
A strategy game lah, definitely strategy.
Oh,
game.
you're a strategist.
Strategies.
Awesome. awesome. We are moving into the second last section of our episode.
Nice.
Bear with me here.
Oh, no worries.
In this section, we're going to talk about the social impact of board games for the younger generations.
Yeah.
Like we talked just now, macam banyak positive, like cognitive skills, strategic, tactical, critical, creative thinking, and social interaction.
Social interaction, exactly.
So what are some of the games that are suitable for everyone? Kids, adults, families?
Yeah, there are beginner level, entry level strategy games. The most highly common one that I can say is a game called Catan, which is a simple entry level strategy game, suitable for beginners, suitable for kids, suitable for adults, because there's still a layer of strategy involved. But Catan, oh boy, Catan has been around for I think about 30 years now. So it's a wonderful strategy game suitable for beginners and advanced players as well. Ooh. Because me and my advanced group of players, we also play Catan every now and then. Yeah, even with Adrian as well, we play Catan once in a while.
Okay, let's not really join.
And then Monopoly definitely is a family game, but Catan, I would definitely recommend Catan.
Alright, nice. Okay, so as you know, I have a lot of baby foods. Anak buah yang membesar di era kemodenan di mana macam-macam teknologi wujud. Sekarang AI.
Right.
So how do you think we can encourage young kids, especially modern kids, to play board games?
How do we encourage it? I think there's not enough exposure to the world of board games. So we need to expose them to board games. Probably, have like a open board game session day in schools, sekolah rendah, right? Phone up some, call some board game cafes to organize an event. So I know a couple of board game cafes in town that they go and organize event at universities for public events and stuff like that. So we need more of this in schools. Organize like a weekend of board games. Bring some simple board games. It can be any simple games like Jenga, the pushing of the blocks. Yep. Start to introduce them to board games, and then once they know, there's more to it than just just simple party games. There's also strategy games, and some of them might actually like it. Some of them actually like it, and once they they start to dive deeper,
Yeah,
and then
be
they will
interested.
discover more games. There's actually a lot of more
Yeah.
games involved. Yeah.
I can only imagine. So, okay, start again. This is the scene. The local major population is actively playing board games. How do you think the community would look like?
Oh, nice. We are every weekend, definitely every weekend we'll be chilling at either a board game cafe or any cafe,
Mhm.
bringing a game or two, few groups, few tables open, playing games, having a good time. Um, you can even do it in your house, open house, and like what we always do.
Yeah.
But open house, invite everyone. Let's play Secret Hitler. Ha
Siapa
ha.
nak join tu?
Let's kill everyone. Ha ha. In a
No,
board
because
game.
I think that we can be more productive as a community. We
Yep.
can be more productive, can be pandai sikit,
Mhm.
and then more
She
tolerate.
said it.
We can tolerate each other better, understand each other better, more better social skills, people skills.
Yep.
That I think macam sekarang dah lack.
People skills, social skills. That's very important.
Yeah. So I think itulah. This is my apa nak cakap, saya punya usaha lah untuk memperkenalkan hobi-hobi yang boleh dicuba
Yep.
to make our community better
Yep.
by creative thinking, because I think our creative thinking is not being uplifted kan?
Yep.
Macam
It's not being
sorok.
shined. Yep.
But from the creative thinking, that is where we are able to do strategies, right?
Yep.
That you
Able to
just say that,
plan, do proper planning of your life or any events.
Yeah, exactly. It can be implemented to your life. Okay, cepat lagi tak?
Cepat.
Okay, cepat ya. Okay, this is the last and this is the resolution. Okay, now that we are in the final segment of the episode, this is a speed round.
Yep.
So answer as short and as sweet as you can.
Nice.
And also
Try
I would like to ask you to answer the type of game as well.
Alright, cool.
Right, ready? So what are your personal top 3 games?
Top 3 games. Ark Nova is
What is
about building a zoo. Brass Birmingham is about network connections
Interesting.
in the early 1900s in Birmingham. And On Mars is in my top 3 at the moment. It's about colonizing the planet Mars.
Oh, alright. Nice. What are your 3 go-to games to warm up the crowd?
Oh, Catan, definitely. Warming up the crowd. Easy strategy. Any card games
Okay.
like Uno. Yep. And probably I would say there's a simple game that I like to table a lot for beginners. Ticket to Ride. It's about building networks using miniature trains. Simple strategy, very entry level, and it always gets a lot of laughs, and it always everyone always have fun with Catan, any card games, and Ticket to Ride.
Ticket to Ride. You know the song Ticket to Ride by Kawala?
Yeah.
Cute song.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway. What are the habits that you picked up from being a game master?
Oh wow. I learned to multitask.
Yeah.
I need to play the game while managing everyone.
Yeah.
Right. I pick up. I definitely built my patience to a fantastic degree.
Definitely.
And yeah, multitasking is definitely there. And also, I managed to also improve my social skills and people skills because sometimes I deal with new people that I've never met before, and I need to learn how to manage the person.
Yeah, true. Okay, what is the game that would spice up the night?
Ooh, Secret Hitler.
Really?
Yeah, we love playing Secret Hitler. Have you ever played Secret
Yeah,
Hitler?
but I
Secret Hitler.
suck.
It's a bluffing game. It's a social deduction game where I'm not talking. Please don't get me wrong. The name of the game is Secret Hitler. The game is about trying to find who Hitler is among a group of people, which is divided into 2 factions: the liberals and the fascists. It's a fun game. It's a party game, social deduction game. We always have fun with Secret Hitler. Yeah, It's
Okay.
just the name of the game. Please, guys.
All right, fantastic. Okay. So lastly, saving the last for the best. Betul ke? Is that right?
Saving the best for last.
Okay, saving the best for last. Aku tak tahu lah. Who are your favorite players and why?
Favorite players?
Yeah.
Players.
Ni lah your kawan-kawan.
Oh, my kawan-kawan Adrian, definitely
Oh,
Adrian.
really?
I love playing with him because of the trash talking. Whenever I play with Adrian, the trash talking is
Non-stop.
to a level that is uncontrollable, but it's always having a good time, having a couple of laughs lah. So yeah, playing with Adrian. I play a lot with my group of people. Four of us: me, Adrian, a Russian dude, Nikolai,
Okay.
which is another funny guy that we love to trash talk to. Yep, and his wife, Crystal. Yeah,
Okay,
so
nice.
the four of us, we always have a good time. Other than that, I have another advanced group. I play with a lot of seasoned heavy board gamers, Kay, Thomas, Key, and a couple of friends. There's Azahar, Zakler, all of this. Raman. Yeah, I love playing with them. I look forward. In fact, I might have a session with them later tonight.
Really?
See, my board game is in my bag. My board game bag is in my car. So they will just say, hey, let's have a session tonight. Let's go. Let's do it. Jom.
Masa depan. Okay, so we're to close things off. To close our episode, I have one final curveball for you. So can you share with us bunga apa yang you suka ataupun ada cerita di sebalik bunga itu? Sebab nama saya BungaPod. Nama saya Bunga.
Bunga apa yang saya suka? I am not good with flowers.
Okay.
My mom loves flowers. She has green fingers. My mom is good with flowers. I just like roses.
Sweet.
I like white rose, red rose. You give me any rose, I love the rose. I love the look of it. It's so graceful. It's nice. It smells good. I love giving it to people. I love receiving it. Roses. Yeah.
All right, roses, especially to the students. So with that answer, we can wrap up our episode. And
Nice.
the Sky is asking us to wrap up.
It's asking us to wrap up.
Yeah.
No worries.
So that was such a fun.
Thank you. I had fun. Thank you for having me. Yes.
Yes. Okay. So we've been talking for like, I don't know, maybe close to 1 hour. I think maybe under skit lah. So, but I feel this is just the tip of the iceberg.
It is definitely just the tip of the iceberg.
So thank you so much, Syed,
You're
for
most
agreeing.
welcome. You're most welcome. Thank you for having me.
So insyaAllah jika diberi ruang dan masa akan ada episod 2 mungkin.
Boleh.
We'll see. So with that being said, tolong saya to kembangkan dan mekarkan this channel BungaPod.
Mekarkan.
Yes, mekarkan.
Nice.
By engaging with our content.
Nice.
So you can support BungaPod by subscribing, liking, commenting, and sharing with your family, friends, and also exes.
Very good effort right now. She's doing a very good job.
Thanks.
Support, guys.
Okay, so with that, nama saya Bunga. And I'll see you in the next episode. Let's bloom and grow together.
Bye-bye.
Bye.